Video's 2020. So here we go. I love my country, but it is way too hot. I am sweating through my clothes. So I think we get one take. Okay, I'm gonna hit this in one take. I apologize for all these sounds and sirens and stuff in the background. So here we go. Today I'm gonna tell you a little bit of a story. I'm gonna tell you about a dog named Bentley. This dog named Bentley taught me way more than any human could ever do about the relationship with my family. So first of all, I love dogs very much, and my wife loves dogs as well, and my daughter also loves dogs. So if you ever see me out on the streets carrying my daughter, chances are I'm wearing a t-shirt with some kind of dog on it, like maybe Bond from Spy Family. And I do that because my daughter likes it, so she gives me more hugs when I wear dog t-shirts. You get my point. So here's how the whole thing started, right? So my wife, like I said, really loves dogs, and so one of my wife's friends who knew that, she knew a friend of a friend who was doing this, she was basically rescuing dogs. So at that time they were looking for a place to foster a few puppies. So there were actually a litter of 3, is it litter? Yeah, there was a group of 3 dogs. They rescued 3 dogs. So they were named like ABC, so they're all named after car names. So it was Aston, like Aston Martin, then there's Bentley, and then there was Cooper, like Mini Cooper. So we got Bentley. So basically before we even had him, the dog rescue experts came to our house, checked on everything, make sure it was all dog friendly. We had to get rid of things, not leave it lying around, not leave cables around. And I remember we had to stock up a lot on goat milk and kibbles. Alright, so as you can imagine, I was naturally very, very excited that I was going to get a puppy. He was very young when we got him. I think he was only like few weeks or a month old. So I was very, very excited to see him. And I started having all these ideas of what I wanted him to be like. And I was also telling my friends about it. Like, he's my dog. I do flips and I do tricks, and therefore I believe that my dog will be able to hop off my chest and catch a frisbee with his teeth. Something that you'd see on like a Got Talent show. My dog would be able to do stunts, and he'll be easily able to backflip, and I can do like a whew kind of whistle, and he will go out and get me a Coke Zero. You get the point, right? So I wanted my dog to be all these different things. So fast forward to the day where I saw him. So I finished, I think I finished jiu-jitsu training. I came home, and at that time my wife had her friends over because they were all excited to see him as well. So I remember coming home, going up the escalator, very excited to see him. So I'm gonna play with him. And then I remember walking in the door, and I saw all my wife's friends, and I just asked, like, where's Bentley? And my wife goes, oh, he's right there under the table. And I remember seeing him for the first time. And he was so perfect, so beautiful. More than anything that I could ever ask for. I was just staring at him. And at that moment, all that expectations about what I wanted him to be able to do, you know, what kind of a dog he had to be, all that just completely went out the window. And I remember I didn't even dare go close to him. I stood from afar and just kind of watched him. I didn't want to disturb him because he just looked too precious there. And all I wanted him to do was to just be. Just to be there made me so happy. And at that point, it kind of hit me really hard. It brought me back to my parents and I. And you know, growing up, I was always very competitive with my brother. I think if you have siblings, you would also kind of understand, but there's always this rivalry between you and your sibling. We always feel that our parents love our siblings more than they love us. And so I remember I always thought that my brother was the favored one, so I did everything I could to outperform him, join competitions, whether it be sports or music. I wanted to prove to my parents that I was worth your love. Well, I was worth fair love, that you would love me the same. And I made sure that I was always a better achiever than my brother. And to be very honest, till this day, I don't feel good about it. I feel like maybe I kind of pressed him down in some ways, but that's not the point, okay? Because my brother is very successful now. But anyway, at that moment when I was looking at Bentley, I realized that I could never earn my parents' love, and that love wasn't something that was earned. And nothing I did in the world, and no matter how many TV shows I was on, how many things I appeared in, I couldn't earn love from my parents. I just had to be. My parents just wanted me to just probably be by their side like my brother was. And at that moment when I felt it, it was like a huge burden of wanting to be known and to be famous and to have value on my name. That whole thing just got lifted, and I had like no desire to be known, no desire to prove anything to my parents. And at that point, fame or none of this had any value to me. So fast forward, we had Bentley for a few months, and those of you who have fostered a dog before, you know how it works. Every weekend you have to bring them to a drive, an adoption drive, where the person who wants to adopt them would be able to meet them, and then they would be able to find a nice home. Anyway, I just want to let you guys know as well, if you're a young couple and you're planning to have dogs, it is something that will change your entire life, right? Even when you want to go hang out with your friends, you got to make sure that your plans are quick and snappy, because you got to be home to spend time with your dog, right? So I think that's part and parcel of owning a dog. So please know that before you get a dog as well. So without getting into the technicalities, basically he was adopted by a very, very nice family who we met as well. And I remember my wife was very emotional before he got picked up. Many times she was, teary eyes, didn't want to see Bentley go. And I was quite okay the whole time. I was quite masculine and, don't care about this, not don't care about him, but, wasn't bothered. Things have to be. And then I remember on the day, the rescue folks called me and they said, okay, I'm under your block now, please bring Bentley down. So I remember I packed his bags, I put his extra kibble, and I remember clearing his toys. And as I picked up each toy, I started to get teary as well. Anyway, all things said, now, I believe Bentley's got a new name. He's got a great family that he lives with. He's got a new name, but I just wanted to share this because I think that it was this experience taught me a lot. Not only was it great to have this puppy in my life, but this puppy Bentley taught me about expectations. Expectations from our parents. That love really wasn't something that could be earned. And sometimes, it's about just being there with your parents. So yeah, I guess it was very hard to get through to me, and smart move. He got through to me through a dog. I saw this little quote once that said, that talked about the importance of not being a celebrity, but rather being a celebrity to the ones around you. And in case you're curious, here are a few photos of Bentley as well.